Again, everybody, and welcome back to the Elite Dangerous live stream straight from the Gamescom show floor booth. I say Gamescom show floor, I mean, well, yeah, but the Elite Dangerous booth specifically.
Oh, yeah.
I have been joined by the very special guest, Sandro Sammarco, in his very special shirt, which I don't know if the camera guys in the back might want to tweak some of the settings to make sure it stands out and shows it in its complete, full glory. Is it looking all right? People at home, what do you think of Sandy's shirt? I'm waiting to see if we can't receive anything else in there. But hey, thank you for coming along. Are you enjoying your Gamescom experience so far?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying it.
Really?
It's mad, but it's a lot of fun.
I got the impression that you originally didn't think that you would enjoy it, and then what sort of changed? What hit you when you got here and thought, oh, actually, this is really awesome? What is it? Is it like meeting new players and things like that, or?
Yeah, seeing the game running and seeing people playing it, that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It is pretty cool.
I am very antisocial, but this is still pretty cool.
What you've proved here by being here at Gamescom is that you're not at all.
Yeah.
You've just been walking around. You were at the our Elite Meet answering loads of questions to people there, and that was incredible. It was just you
it was
had
a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've had such a great time. We've had a really good time. And for you're off home today. Is that correct this evening?
Unfortunately, I am escaping.
Yeah. So maybe if he was staying another 3 days, his answer would have been very different. I am having a horrible time. The lucky ones get to stay behind and enjoy this for another 3 days, which I'm certainly excited about. Before we get on with some questions, because we want to talk a little bit about Elite Dangerous Horizons, of course, because that's why we're here.
But of course.
Before we get on to that, I want to talk about the trivia question that we did before the break. We asked because it's a sort of an original Elite theme today, we asked what the original commander was called when you first started in the original Elite back in 1984, and of course the answer is...
Original commander?
So the commander you start as in 1984. Have I just
Jameson?
There you go.
Duh!
I thought that I'd put you on the spot there.
You did?
Yeah.
But luckily my memory didn't fail me.
Yeah, very good. Nicely done. So, of course, somebody has to win the awesome exclusive paint job for Gamescom paint job by getting this right, and that would be at Helen Flossie. So Helen Flossie, congratulations. It was picked at random. I think I've actually met Helen Flossie. I promise you, it wasn't a fix.
Well
anyway,
done.
Helen, there you go. You've won yourself a Gamescom exclusive paint job. So get in touch with us, send in an email, or we will actually just reply to you on the tweet anyway. So let's do this. Let's
do it.
Let's do serious news time.
Very serious
question time.
Very, very serious.
Get my Jeremy Paxman.
Of course.
Pressing questions for
You look just like him.
I know. I'm working on the Jeremy Paxman look with the hair. Is that a compliment?
I don't know.
All right. So...
Yes, of course it was.
A lot of people have been asking and I'm going to word this carefully, because I am selling the game, as I'm trying to word it carefully. So, why develop something like planetary landings when there is still work to be done?
Hang on, sorry, when there's still
game?
loads of cool things we could add to the core game experience, possibly.
That's a good answer, but no. But seriously, there are other things to add to the core. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
So, what's your answer to that question?
The good answer is we're doing both. So planetary landings is just one. It's just the first expansion in Horizons. There's a lot more stuff coming. Not all of it's to do with planetary landings. We're going to push all aspects as well.
Yeah.
So, and also just to butt in a bit more. A lot of the stuff that we do for planetary landings is going to bleed straight back up into the main gameplay. So the enhanced missions and events and scenarios, all the stuff we learn there as we implement it, it's going to feed straight back into space. So there'll be cooler missions as well in space.
Okay, so feel free to completely knock me back here in this question. We're all on the same team.
I should hope so.
Enhanced missions, are you able to elaborate at all on what that means?
On enhanced missions?
Enhanced missions.
Yeah, so we want to move beyond just go here, kill this guy, come back, get a reward. We want the missions to be more compelling and rich, so multiple stages to them, multiple different ways of doing things, interesting new interactions. I can't unfortunately go into any more detail than that.
No, I think that's great. I think
throughout Horizons, there's going to be some really cool stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's really, really good. So what is to stop, there's some more questions that I've just sort of been picking up on people in the chat and things like that. What is to stop another player flying in and blowing you up if you're in an SRV just going along the ground? What stops another player coming in and just taking you out nice and easy? How are you protected from that sort of thing?
Nothing. No, actually, so Technically, that's correct. They're both in the same environment. These ships are flying around, and they've got guns. Some of the guns are bigger than the SRV. So if they get a shot, it's going to do some serious damage. But there's a couple of points to remember. All of the ship weapon tracking systems use heat and EM emissions to track.
Okay.
And the SRVs are tiny. They run really cool. They don't have a lot of emissions. It's basically impossible to lock onto them. So that's the first thing. Secondly, they're pretty maneuverable. You know, we're talking speeds around 100 miles an hour. They've got they're going to be skipping and sliding and jumping all over the place. And the spaceships are in a gravitational field. So for them to line up and get the shot, it's going to be a lot more challenging.
Okay.
So we want that to be there. You know, we want that fear to be there. We're not going to protect the SRVs, but they have inherent defences that make them that give them protection against it.
But of course the missiles and things coming from these gigantic ships are going to be huge, so they're going to have an impact surely on the ground in quite a wide space. So if you are trying to, you can take down those SRVs.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it isn't. But it isn't.
Hopefully, it's going to be skill challenge. It's going to be skill based.
So it is part of the gameplay. We are expecting players to play interactive that way.
Absolutely. And also on top of that, what we want to make sure is the SRVs are cool and they're fun. We don't want to get in the way of that fun. So if you lose your heaven forbid, if someone does take out your SRV, there's a cost to it, but it's nothing like losing a ship.
Right. Okay.
And you can have multiple SRVs. You can stockpile them a little bit.
Yeah.
So we want to get you in there and having fun. We'd rather have a much more entertaining experience with a bit of wreckage here and there than people being too worried to actually take them out and drive them. They're meant to get in there and have fun with them, so it's hopefully not going to be too much of a problem.
Well, like I said before, feel free to knock me back on this question again.
I will do.
I'm going to keep saying this. In fact, I'm going to stop saying that now. I've said it once. Say no if you need to. All right,
no.
So moving on. Now, right, so what we've got is a question that came in earlier. It was something to do with fuel on the SRVs.
Yeah.
They are going to need...
That's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
So, obviously, if you think about the lore of Elite Dangerous, the ships have very powerful reactors that are very compact and produce vast amounts of energy. And if you scale that down to the size of an SRV, I'm fairly confident fuel isn't going to be a problem. They're so tiny.
And
the issue's not really going to be fuel.
And in 3301, they will have a solution
exactly.
that is going to...
So, we don't want them conking out in the middle of nowhere. That's just... Because that's not fun. It's more fun to drive around, bunny hopping, skidding, than to just be dead in the water.
What about cargo space, and how does that relate to... Obviously, the things you get... So you're taking tons of stuff in Elite Dangerous, right?
Yes.
As in the measurement of weight ton.
Yes.
So how does that scale?
So the SRVs do have carrying capacity. The Scarab's the first one. It can carry a small amount, so you can expect to see gameplay which focused much more on the rare items, rare goods, interesting artifacts. No more to be said about that. So there's a lot of cool stuff to find, but it's not so much based on bulk.
Okay.
Because the Scarab's just small, it doesn't carry an awful lot. That's not to say in the future there are plans for more SRVs, and they are going to be specialised in different areas.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, actually. So you
must
have seen them on here.
Well, not that I'm looking at your questions at all.
Stealing my thunder.
But I just wanted to say,
not that one.
There are going to be SRVs, additional ones. It wouldn't be an amazing leap to suggest that there might be some that have better carrying capacity.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Awesome. So another question. What sort of things you're going to face? Enemies? Are you going to face it? I think in a lot of the documentation it has said like fighting off enemies or foes. I can't remember the exact wording.
Yes, that's interesting.
What are they? What are those?
Guess what? I've got an answer for that.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what it is right now.
Okay.
No, so obviously, first of all, you've got other players and their own SRVs. All the SRVs all the Scabs have guns, so there'll be a lot of cooperative and competitive gameplay capabilities and options for you. Also, there'll be players in ships flying around, so there's that gameplay we touched on. There'll be static defences, of course, but we're also introducing a new type of ground-based vehicle called a skimmer. These are tiny little vehicles. They're even smaller than the SRVs.
Skimmer.
Yeah, skimmer.
Repeat that. The skimmer. I don't think we've told anybody about that yet.
It's a class.
I think we're going to get glares from our PR manager at some point. I'm not sure. We're okay. We're all right with saying that, aren't we? We're all right. Yeah.
I can't see him.
No, we are. So it's fine. Carry on talking. There's a skimmer.
So these skimmers, they are piloted because obviously AI is outlawed in the world of Elite Dangerous. Thanks to some fairly horrible mishaps in the past. So they're human piloted, but the humans aren't in them. They're remote piloted from inside bases.
Oh, okay.
So they're dangerous. They're specifically there to provide interesting challenges for the SRV.
Well, in law, they are like a protection with the fortresses and things that we've
absolutely.
mentioned?
So they're a mobile defense platform.
Okay.
Some of them are really tiny, really quick, a lot of gameplay actually getting shots on them because they're maneuverable, they'll be jinking around.
So there'll be lots of them coming at you, I imagine?
Absolutely. Other ones will be slower, maybe a bit bigger, easier to hit, but they'll have bigger guns and you don't want to get hit by them. So there'll be a lot more driving around, avoiding them whilst you're fighting them. But the really interesting thing about the skimmers is, because they're remote piloted, they need a connection to their home base to work. Their range is reasonably limited. And some bases can extend that range by putting down relay towers, so the skimmers can operate over larger areas. But of course, you'll be able to disable those towers. And if you do, any nearby skimmers, straight into the surface,
awesome.
Hey, maybe you'll be able to scoop them up. Maybe sell them on the black market. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Sandy, for all that. I mean, I can't believe he actually answered all my questions there. So, working on something like, I think we've got time for one more question. Working on something like Elite Dangerous Horizons, how does that differ from when you were working way back at the very beginning? Because you've been on the project the entire time.
How's it different from the start to now?
Yeah. How in terms of design, going for people who might be interested in the way that games are designed, how, when you were designing something like the initial combat, the way that work's going to work, the way the initial handling is going to work, how does that differ from having an established universe, established fiction, designing new stuff for it?
Well, luckily I don't do any work. I just talk nonsense day in, day out.
Wears nice Hawaiian shirts.
But yeah, basically my shirts do the work for me, as they should. But it's a lot of fun. It's interesting. At the start, you've got a different set of scary things. At the start, you've got nothing. You've got to come at it from scratch. You've got to try and cover all the corner cases. Frankly, it's terrifying, especially when you're dealing with Elite.
Right. Okay. Cool.
It's a legend. Now it's established. It's a completely different set of challenges.
Yeah.
Now there's a if I do say so myself, there's a great game there. It's really compelling. It's really cool.
It is good.
We want to make it better, but the challenge is making sure each bit we add is correct and doesn't ruin anything else.
Yeah, so and also we listen to the community a lot back at home and try and
very, very passionate community.
They are, and they are watching this.
They're very, very quick to tell us exactly what they like and what they're not so keen on.
Exactly, and we always listen. We always.
Yeah, sure. Look, at the end of the day, it's our necks on the block. We have to make the call, but it would be stupid not to use such a passionate and useful resource, so we do.
Absolutely.
So we're on the forums all the time. Yeah. Even when we don't answer, we are listening, so keep at it. It's awesome.
Absolutely, we do. We always watch and we always respond and listen. We're always watching. So before we move on, thank you so much again for coming down, Sandy, and I hope you have a safe journey home, because I know that you're lucky enough to be getting going tonight, so I hope that's okay.
Thank you
We
very
are
much.
going to be giving away Sandy's Hawaiian shirt live on the stream. That's not true. That's never going to happen. We'll never do that. We'd never peel it off you.
This is my skin. This is my skin, mate. You take this, there's nothing left.
So we are going to have another half-an-hour break. Sorry, guys. I've got another massage booked backstage. So before I go for my massage, I want to do another bit of trivia first before we leave. Remember, if you use the hashtag EDGC15 and answer the piece of trivia, after the break, we'll read the answer out, and you will win or have the chance, because I'll pick it at random, a exclusive Gamescom paint job, which is a really beautiful looking thing. Have you seen it? Have you seen the pictures?
I have.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get that up at some point, because I know we do have one somewhere. That is for the Cobra, like I mentioned earlier. So first, the question is, what was the name of the star system that you started at in the original Elite?
Easy.
So we know who you started as, but what was the name of the system that you started as in the original Elite? As Sandy said, easy. It isn't easy. That's kind of the point.
I don't actually know.
It's a hashtag. You don't, do you not? We'll stop. Hashtag EDGC15. Make sure you use that for your answer. We've been talking about it a lot right now for the last 15 minutes. Thank you again. Why don't we show the trailer? Why don't we cue the trailer for Elite Dangerous Horizons? So thanks very much, guys, and see you after the break around about 2 o'clock.
One jet descending, we're at 150 meters per second.